Florida State with a win today here at the Barclays Center. The NIT Season Tip-Off, 72-61 is the final. It was a three-point game at half. Illinois led 44-42 there midway through the second half. Our final thoughts with John Groce, brought to you by Beck's Hybrids. Coach, you did a lot of things well. You cut down the turnovers, won the rebounding battle, a lot of offensive rebounds, made a lot of free throws, just didn't shoot well enough from the outside, especially in that second half.
Yeah, I thought the first half in particular, Brian, I thought our defense was terrific, maybe as good as we played it all year against that quality of opponent, and we just didn't make shots. We were taking care of the ball. I thought we rebounded well, and here we are at the half. We're down because I thought our shot making just wasn't good enough. So we felt like if we made shots in the second half and defended the way that we did in the first, we'd have a chance to win the game. Obviously, we got up 44-42, and then Malcolm Hill's fourth foul. His fourth foul put us in a little bit of a hole there. Now he's on the bench, and they go on a 7-0 run to take the lead, 51-44. I thought that was big. And then they scored 11 out of 13 possessions during part of that run where he was out, and then we called the timeout. I felt like we needed to put him back in when it got to 53-44. Couldn't wait any longer at that point. And I really thought we never were quite able to recover. But when they score 11 out of 13 possessions in a half like that in that stretch, and then we're not scoring and making shots, we had some sloppy turnovers in the second half during that run they made as well that, added insult to injury. So, but all in all, I loved our response. I mean, I was curious. We challenged them really hard and got after it, mentally and with some film and different things over really less than a 24-hour time span. And they showed me what they were made of, the way they came out to start the game with their intensity, their togetherness. We've just got to make less mistakes, and we've got to make some shots.
Yeah, I thought Black really, especially in the second half. I mean, he haven't played through injuries myself, just to see him offensively, things come together. He really was a warrior out there in the second half.
He was. I thought the two bright spots certainly in the 2 days were LeRon Black and Tejon Lucas. I thought those two guys really elevated their play from where it had been, and obviously LeRon's only played 3 games now, but Lucas has really gotten better and really improved, and we were really encouraged by that, and certainly can take those two things away from the event.
Yeah, and you could tell, and Doug mentioned this too, you could tell he and Black, Lucas and Black, kind of like to play together. You can see the rhythm start to develop with those two.
Yeah, no question. Malcolm had a good suggestion, and just shows you where, he's at. We ran a particular play where we went pick and roll with Lucas and Black and put Malcolm in the left corner. He said, Coach, they're not helping off me at all. Just set a pick and roll with LeRon or Michael, and I'm just going to stand here. If they're not going to help, those guys are going to be wide open, and that's exactly what happened. So his suggestion was good. He was really tuned in. I like the attitude and the effort of our team today. We just made too many mistakes during just a real key stretch there where Hill was out. They scored 11 out of 13 times during that stretch, and then we had some turnovers. Tracy had 2 of them back-to-back there that were very uncharacteristic for him that I thought put a lot of pressure on our defense.
Yeah, I thought defensively, Abrams did a nice job. I mean, he for especially in the first half, you had him guarding Isaac, and you give him a fight. But he was holding his own.
He did. He crowded him and did a good job per the game plan there. We tried to get up under him, Doug, and I thought Tracy did a great job. He's always pretty smart with game planning stuff and has a good feel for that. Knew his advantage was going to be getting up under him as a smaller guy.
Yeah, I can tell what you like about Tejon with his ability to see the floor, and once he kind of learns how to play at this level, you can already see him learning pretty fast.
He is, yeah. He's earned it. I mean, I put him in the game yesterday, and obviously you're a freshman playing in New York City against maybe the most ferocious press in college basketball yesterday, and I thought he played really, really well. And so he earned the right to play more today and then took advantage of it again, and he's practiced well. The thing I love about him is he's not pouting. He's a freshman. You're used to playing the whole game when you're in high school. You remember, Doug, when you come from high school to Illinois and, the whole thing's you're playing the whole game and hardly ever coming out. But he doesn't pout, which I love about him. He's really tried to take advantage of every opportunity. He's gotten better.
Yeah, and he sees the court very well. I mean, you've talked about beginning of the season. You and I were talking. He's been injured, and he hasn't had a lot of practice time.
He hasn't.
And now you're starting to see. He's putting the time in, and it's good to hear them that he's patient, and all these young guys want to play right away.
They do. You know, and he's been, and you're exactly right, like he didn't start with us till October 3rd, the day we started practice. He did nothing in the summer, nothing in the fall. You know, and his conditioning, he'd be the first to tell you now, was not where it needed to be on October 3rd. So right now his conditioning here late November over the course of the last month to month and a half has gotten significantly better and allowed him to play the way he did yesterday and today.
I think the numbers we saw from LeBron today as he gets settled in, that's what you can almost expect, I think, along the way, right? Double figures in both categories.
I think so. That's the way he's played. I thought he was terrific in the preseason and in our and once we started regular season, our practices. And it's just a matter of timing, synchronization, figuring out where we're using him in the rotation. We're not quite nailed that thing down yet because he's only played this week, but obviously he's great on the glass, and we needed that boost rebounding.
Yeah.
Our team needed that. And today I thought he was great on the backboard.
And you'll have some guys make shots. They didn't today, but JCL and Finke, those guys are good three-point shooters. They'll come around.
They had great looks today.
Yeah, it just didn't go in.
It did not. You know, Malcolm went 2 for 4, and Tijon 1 for 3, so we'll take those. But I thought Abrams had, and AJ was 1 for 2. So I thought that Finke and J. Cole, for the most part, had really good looks, and so did Abrams. You know, and those guys, you know, go obviously 1 for 11 from 3. And all 3 of them have been shooting the ball coming into this week at a really high clip. So we need them to make a few more today, but I'm confident they will moving forward.
All right, another ACC team on Tuesday, the Big Ten ACC Challenge. So
no, it doesn't get any easier. This is a great stretch for us because we get to learn a lot about our team and, you know, continue to get better every day, figuring out, fine-tuning what we need to take a look at. When you play teams of caliber that we did this week, all 3 of them, now we're coming right back with NC State. You can really learn a lot and figure out where you need to get better. Obviously, coaches can tell guys, but when they feel the disappointment of getting beat like they did today, our locker room, those guys were really disappointed, which they should be. You know, that's how they should feel. And, you know, but we're not going to allow it to discourage us. We've got to figure out how to get better, what things we learned from this week, and how we can improve.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.